What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. What if you have $10,000 and you want to invest it in crypto? Can you make $1 million out of that? Well, of course, it's doable, but you have to know how to play it, which altcoins, when to buy. So let's say I have $10,000. How would I do it? I'm going to show you exactly. So welcome to the Fomo Factory. Smack that like button, smack that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification. I'm here every single day giving you the biggest alpha to really make it in crypto and not ape into crypto at the wrong time so that you lose money instead of gain money. That's what we try to accomplish here. So let's dive into the market and how I would play it. Again, if I would have 10K, right? And if you have $1,000, you can do basically the same strategy. But this is exactly what I'm going to do, which altcoins I would buy and how I would buy them. So let's jump right into it. I'm not going to skip that. First of all, Bitcoin right now. It's doing okay, right? We had a little pullback yesterday and the market is going up a little bit right now. But like I said, we can maybe expect a decent dump. We want to see how this is going to play out. We have a lot of struggles with around that 25.2 level, right? That's why we got rejected a couple of times, and in the past we got rejected there as well. And yes, at a certain point we will break it, but I am also quite convinced that before we do that we could see a pullback, and as long as we hold above, let's say 22.5, but especially 21.5, then I'm not that worried, right? If we go below there, yeah, then it's a good opportunity as long as you're prepared, right? That's what it's all about. You have to be prepared. The market, it's very simple, guys. The market can go up, the market can come down. What if one of the two happens? Are you happy with it? No, then adjust the way that you are happy with both cases, right? And I say that what I'm basically mean with that, make sure you have a good crypto position. Of course, you don't want to miss out on the market, but also make sure you have stables ready to deploy when the time really comes. A lot of people, they ape in right here. You see these green spikes. How do they come there? Well, because people buy there, right? But it's like, come on, man. We had so many opportunities the last couple of weeks, days to buy lower. And now it's at around its resistance. People are buying. We are better than that. We are better than that. That's how you lose and how you win, right? Crypto is basically player versus player, and we want to play it better than other people. I've been in the space since 2013. I learned a lot. I'm definitely not someone that knows it all, but at least I can share my experience. So, okay, cool. Enough said. What if you have $10,000? I'm going to write it down here exactly. Well, the first strategy, and I'm going to take it step by step. The first strategy you always want to apply is a DCA strategy, dollar cost average. So it means you do not buy everything at once. You buy your assets every week or every month or maybe even every day or 2 days. You have a plan for yourself how you're going to do it. Or you could say every time it hits a certain low range, you can buy it. That's more like my strategy. I'm not necessarily buying every week or so. I'm just buying with every dip, basically, right? So I'm not buying right now, but when it comes here, I'm buying as well. What you can also do is if you go to the dashboard of the intothecryptoverse.com, shout out to Jamaica for that, then you can also look at the risk levels, right? And the risk levels is basically it's a combination of the price, the on-chain metrics, and the social metrics, right? So that gives you a certain risk level. And if you look where the risk level is sitting right now, if you apply everything, right, then we have to wait a little bit to the risk ratio here. You'll see that everything under 0.5 basically is, you know, a good place to buy when it comes to the risk, and everything above 0.5 is maybe a better place to offload. So you can also do it like that. Then you need a subscription on this platform, of course, but there are a lot of ways to dollar cost. But that's definitely that I will recommend you doing dollar costing, right? My strategy, and I could be wrong, so you don't have to copy my strategy, but I'm just sharing what I do. My strategy is, the people that are familiar with the channel know this, I'm buying Bitcoin, right? So I'm for now mostly buying Bitcoin whenever the price is looking like I want to buy it. And I think I'll definitely, I'll buy some at around 21.5, give or take, right? And maybe even 22.5, by the way. but not now, not that close to its resistance, right? We are just from this point, we are like only 3% from this cycle top so far, right? So why would you buy so far, so close to the top when we are also like 36% from the lows? Like that risk reward ratio is not good to me. So, but I am buying Bitcoin whenever I feel like I want to buy Bitcoin. Then I have a good Bitcoin stack. Why do I do that? And why don't I buy altcoins? Well, I'm gonna tell you, because altcoins can bleed a lot against Bitcoin still. And I will keep saying this until I think otherwise. But if you look how altcoins are doing, and I showed you this in one of my last videos as well. Look, for example, Cardano, right? Everybody, for some reason, likes Cardano, a lot of people. And if you look what Cardano is doing, right, it came down a lot, and like everything, it finally had some pump, right? And if you take it from the bottom, from this cycle, we are now already 63% up from the bottom. So you might want to feel like, why would I buy Cardano right now, right? It doesn't really make sense, 63% from the bottom. Then again, if you look at Cardano Bitcoin, that's just been going down, right? It's making lower lows after lower lows after lower lows, and as well lower highs, right? So, and if you look at this, then you'll see that it's now just 11% from the bottom. So, and this is just an example. There are always exceptions, but overall, altcoins are bleeding against Bitcoin still. So therefore, in my opinion, it is better to just buy Bitcoin, right? One, because you have something that altcoins bleed against, right? So if you later want to buy altcoins, you can buy them with your Bitcoin at the lowest prices anyway. And two, you do not have the FOMO. Because if you feel like, okay, I just want to buy with dollars, and you will sit only in cash right now, for example, and you look at such a chart, right? You see 63% up. Although there is still a good possibility that this will go lower as well, you might feel like, shit, I want to get in right now. It's the low is in, I can better buy right here. And then you buy in a 60% pump anyway, right? If you buy Bitcoin, then you do not have that problem, because if Bitcoin goes up, you make money anyway. So you are exposed to the market while you have some gunpowder to buy these altcoins with later, right? I think Bitcoin will go to around $300,000 at the top of the next bull run. Some people agree, some people will call me crazy, but so far that's very much what we have been doing so far, right? So unless the cycle is broken, you know, but I don't want to assume that this time is different. So in that case, I feel like, yeah, it doesn't matter if I, for some reason, do miss out on altcoins, which, look, I mean, you can basically buy now at the bottom, give or take, like 10% difference. It's the bottom so far, right? But if you even somehow miss out on that, then you can still make a very decent 10x with your Bitcoin. And you know, the risk reward, there is no asset in crypto that has a better risk reward ratio than Bitcoin, of course, right? I mean, it's the most safest coin. So far, you always know that Bitcoin will be fine with, there's no altcoin that you are certain it will be fine, right? And you can be certain with Bitcoin, but you know, relatively, it's pretty safe. And the reward is just great. Like, I mean, people underestimate how good Bitcoin is doing overall, but every cycle, like I said, from the bottom, from cycle 1 to the top of cycle 2, Bitcoin so far did a 70x, not 17, but 70, right? So it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. But for the juicy gains, of course you want to look at altcoins, and that's absolutely what I'm looking at. So what I would do if I would now have a $10,000 of Bitcoin, of dollars, right? I would buy Bitcoin. I would DCA into Bitcoin whenever I feel like it is the time, right? So overall, I will now just put in 10K fully into Bitcoin. That's it. All right, so I have 10K Bitcoin. Then when the bottom looks like it is in for altcoins, then I am definitely interested in looking at altcoins. So then I'm starting to deploy my Bitcoin in altcoins. And when do I think that the bottom for altcoins is in? Well, not necessarily by looking, for example, at this ADA Bitcoin. Like, yeah, like it looks like a very decent level to bottom at around, in this case, 1118 or around 1,000 satoshis, because that's just what the price chart is telling. But we do not have to get support where we had support earlier, right? I mean, that makes no sense. We had support here as well. Well, it was resistance, bad example. But there are a lot of cases where we just get support out of nothing, right? So the chart doesn't always tell us that. What I do find interesting is this chart. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart, right? This is showing how much money is sitting in Bitcoin instead of altcoins. And if we zoom out and we just look at this chart, it's sitting very low right now. Right? And when do you make your really juicy gains on your altcoins? When there's an altcoin season, right? When there is a real altcoin season in a bull market. I'm not talking about a relief rally like we had from June till September last year. Altcoins did very well, but overall that wasn't an altcoin season really, right? That was a relief rally. So when you make the most money with altcoins isn't an altcoin season. Now, what is an altcoin season? An altcoin season is when altcoins outperform Bitcoin. So that means when the Bitcoin dominance is going down. So the altcoin dominance is going up, right? Over the last couple of months, the Bitcoin dominance has been going up. So that was a Bitcoin season. So overall, although altcoins were popping, it wasn't a good time to be in altcoins. That's just what it is. You could have been lucky, right? But overall, Bitcoin would have made you more money. So what do we want to see in that case? You want to buy Bitcoin. At least let me say I want, not financials. I want to buy Bitcoin at these lower levels, right? It's now sitting kind of in the middle of this range. So yeah, but overall, if you compare, it's quite low. You want to buy Bitcoin when it's at these low levels, right? Then when the Bitcoin dominance is going up, there's a good chance that Bitcoin itself will go up as well, but it doesn't necessarily needs to mean that. But when the Bitcoin dominance goes up, it means that altcoins on their Bitcoin pair go down, right? When this is sitting at some resistance, then I feel like, okay, I want to deploy 50% of my Bitcoin into altcoins. When would I do that? It's now sitting at 44%, give or take. 48% is the level that I'm looking at, right? So that's where I start to buy my altcoins. Now, I've drawn this line right here. You can also draw it like this, and it still makes sense, right? So you can better not even draw lines. You can maybe even better just draw areas like this, right? So in this area right here, yeah, in this area right here, I will deploy altcoins, my Bitcoin into altcoins between 47.5% and 48.5%. All right, because we will see an altcoin season again when the dominance goes down. But we can only go down very hard and have a big alt season if we first go up. And some people feel like, yeah, but we come down like this. Benjamin Cohen pointed something out, and I really agree on that. We had such an NFT hype. We had so much VC money coming in, specifically altcoins. Altcoins were insane. There was so much money going into altcoins. But still, we did not manage to get this low out, right? So what does it need to take? That doesn't happen right now. So I agree with him that the dominance first has to go up. Right now, in my opinion, between 39.5 and this area of, for upper 40, that's the current range. So here, I will deploy 50% of my Bitcoin into altcoins. If we go, for some reason, higher, then I will slowly deploy more. And I'll talk about it by that time, how I will actually, I'm not talking about the moves that I'm going to make. When I'm actually making these moves, I will put it all on cam as well. So subscribe to the channel, just don't miss out on that, right? I try to prepare you right now, all right? And myself, of course, as well. So that's when I will buy altcoins. Because then, if we will get rejected and we come down again, that's where we really see altcoins going up. And here we can pick them up at the lowest price possible. Not here. but here, right? So if you look, I mean, yeah, if you buy them right here and we go down, you can make a 3x maybe, definitely. But if you buy them right here and we go down, you can make a 6x already, right? And even if we go up here, which I don't know if that's going to happen, but if it happens, I'll definitely jump in, because that's, look, this right here from, I can show you, from December 2020 until May 2021. Look at the total 3. December 2020, which was here, till May 2021, which was here. This is the total 3. There we really had an insane price movement. 10x overall on the total 3. Cool thing is, this includes stables, right? These don't move with them. So overall altcoins were moving 15x, right? And the higher caps maybe 10x and the lower caps maybe 30x, right? That's where the real money comes in, with these kind of moves, right? So therefore we want to get up first. So now, with that being said, which altcoins would I buy if I would have $10,000? I haven't prepared this. I'm just doing this from the top of my head with the altcoins that I have researched a lot the last months, years, which I think have the best opportunities out here. So I will buy definitely some gaming altcoins, some layer ones, okay, let me write the specific altcoins down for you. So if I would have 10K, I will eventually deploy 8K into altcoins, I think, because you want to always have Bitcoin. Why? Like I said, it's the best risk-reward ratio there is, right? Bitcoin is kind of like, nothing is guaranteed, but let me put it like this. I would be surprised if Bitcoin doesn't at least pull a 10x, right? So you always want to be in Bitcoin, right? And maybe 20% of your portfolio in Bitcoin is still not that much. But then again, if we are really that high on the dominance, we could definitely come down, make a lot of gains on your altcoins. And then you can even, maybe not even choose to take your profits in dollars, but just buy Bitcoin back and you have 5 times, 10 times more Bitcoin, right? And then in the next bull cycle, you really like kill it. You can buy a Lambo for your whole city. So yeah, that's kind of my plan. Not to buy the Lambo, fuck them. They can buy it themselves, but you know. So which altcoins am I going to buy? Okay, like I said, I will buy some gaming altcoins at least, right? Because I think gaming, AI, metaverse, NFTs will be very big in the next bull run. Talking about that, I will definitely buy, definitely heavy invest in Dilithium. I think everybody that watches this channel has a node running by now. So dilithium.com, you can check it out. You buy a node, it's $1,000. You get the tokens every single day. They list on the Bybit Launchpad very soon, and you get them passively, right? So this is the amount that I collected already, and this has too many good stuff. But it's not out yet, so don't put it on my list necessarily yet. What I would buy Seedify. I talked about. I'm not going to explain these projects all. I talked about this project very much already. I think Seedify of everything is going to make me the most money. Not just because the price chart can do a 10, 20x, but the games or the projects that they are going to release in the bull run. We saw it last bull run, 100, 200, 3, 4, 5, 6, even 700 X's happened. So accumulating these tokens while they are cheap, so you can get a good tier. So you can actually make a 700X on $1,000 instead of $100, for example. Yeah, come on, it's no brainer. So I would put money into Seedify as fund. And okay, let me do it like this. So we have 10K. Eventually, I would buy BTC, 2K. I will buy S Fund. Let me first show you the altcoins before I will start my allocation right here. So I would buy S Fund. Falcon Forged, another gaming project. PYR, definitely. I think they have so much going on that this is an easy 15x as well. Gala, I will definitely buy Gala. And yeah, let me check, a lower cap to make it a little juicy. Super and Altora, I will buy them as well. So Super and Altora, I will buy them as well. So a lot of gaming, but that's just me. I believe in gaming a lot, so that's why I deploy the most there, right? If you believe more in layer ones or dexes or whatever, go ahead. But this is my conviction. But that's not everything. I will also get me some Chainlink. Chainlink, the project is needed, right? In the space, it's needed. These projects need oracles, so we need Chainlink, and there's basically no competition. So it's Chainlink or nothing, really. So Chainlink has a very bright future, if you ask me. We want to also go a little low cap, of course, right? We have, well, Altora as the micro cap in here, and we have Super, but really like low cap. I want to go kind of crazy on it. So let me take a real quick look. What do I have in my own portfolio at the moment that I feel like, yeah, this is going to do absolutely amazing. Let me check my medium risk portfolio. It's off screen, by the way. But yeah, you know, I would say, look, I would buy Uniswap. I would buy Phantom and all that stuff. But they are not like, they are already in the $1 billion market caps, right? You can easily get a 10x out of it, definitely. But we want to go for something more than that, because I think we can also do that with Bitcoin. So that's not that exciting, if you ask me. I would... It's hard. With just like, you don't want to have too many coins on a 10K portfolio, right? You don't want to have too much. And there's so much good stuff to choose from, basically. So that's kind of hard sometimes. I would go for another launchpad, maybe. Yeah, I would go for another launchpad. And in that case, I would go with Engine Starter. Engine Starter has an $11 million market cap. So let me take a look. CoinGecko. Here, check this out. Engine Starter has an $11 million market cap. They are not a top tier launchpad like Seedify or anything, but I think they can become that, definitely. And that launchpads in general will do amazing. So yeah, with Engine Starter, I wouldn't be surprised to see 50x out of it, to be completely honest. So Engine Starter would be on my list as well, definitely. So Bitcoin, Seedify, Forge, Gala, Super, Altora, Chainlink, Engine Starter, and you know, we have gaming. Well, we have the blue chip, we have a launchpad, we have another launchpad, we have a gaming studio, another gaming studio, we have NFT, marketplace, game NFT, yeah, whatever project, another NFT project, we have an Oracle. And if you want to get exposure to maybe a good layer one, then I would say, what? This is hard. I should have prepared this, but it's good. Then you can see the process of thinking about it, right? But I think it's good to have a layer one as well, because we do not even have a layer one in here. I would go with a DEX and a layer one, and the DEX is going to be Joe of Avalanche. Because Joe is quite low cap and Avalanche is a chain with a lot of adoption. And the leading DEX of that chain will blow up then as well. So definitely Joe would be on my list. And when it comes to the layer one, yeah, there is so much to choose from. It's like, it's hard. I won't go with Aptos or anything like that, because I just feel, why does this never work? Aptos is already too high cap, too much hype. BNB, like, why does this just has that low? Well, maybe I would go with Phantom anyway. Transparent team, under promise, over deliver, lot of runway, fast, innovative, good tag, cheap transactions, starting to get the hype back a little bit. Yeah, good tokenomics. Phantom has a lot of upside. So in that case, I would go with Phantom as well. So that would be my $10,000 portfolio, right? And I talk about the fact that it can do it 10x, but I'm talking about current levels, right? It can do it 10x from where it's right now. But if Bitcoin dominance goes up and you can buy these tokens a lot cheaper, then you can make a 20x out of a quite, low risk, low reward coin already, right? You can chase the 100x's, but you also, one, don't want to throw your money away, and two, with that, don't want to miss out on the next cycle because you threw your money away. You want to stay a little safe as well, right? And overall, I think this portfolio, can this portfolio make $10,000 into $100,000? Maybe. It's possible. Yeah, I think it can. So how would I divide this? CDFI gets 2K. Yeah. Vulcan Forged gets 1,500. Engine Starter gets 500. Altora gets 500. Super gets 500. Why? These are the lower caps, right? So they need less money to make more money. So you don't have to take as much risk to make the same amount of cash. So we have 3,500, 4,000, 5,000, 1, 2, 3, yeah. 6, 7,000. I would put 500 in Joe and 500 in Phantom as well, by the way. 1,000 in Gala and 1,000 in Link. Let me check out if this is correct. 3,500, 5K, 6K, 7K, 8K, 9K, 950. Oh, so in that case, I will go with $1,000 in Phantom rather. So this is how I would build my portfolio by then. And should I do this? The amount of X's that I expect this portfolio to make? Nah, it depends on when you buy it. So that's really not for me to say. Overall, if you can get good entry and you really look at the dominance before you buy, and you buy it right here, you first already make a lot of money on your Bitcoin, right? So what if Bitcoin, what if Bitcoin goes to 36K, for example, or 45? I think it can this year, 40K, right? So let's say 2x. That's maybe a lot for this year, but let's say 2x. Then you have 20K, right? 20K. Then if the Bitcoin dominance goes up as well, you can use that 20K to buy altcoins at their lowest point. Maybe not dollar value, but Bitcoin value, right? Then you can maybe already buy it here or here, I don't know. In that case, you invest $20,000 with initial $10,000 at the lowest point, and then you can ride an altcoin season where things could actually 50x, right? Do the calculations. You can do it if you really play it well. And don't be like this. Don't guys, really don't be like, I see these messages in my Telegram group and everything all the time, or YouTube comments or Twitter, like, whoa, Phantom is doing great, go get Phantom. Like, why here and not here? What's there to gain and what's there to lose? Don't do it, right? We want to play this good. We want to play this the good way, right? I messed up in the last cycle a little bit. The cycle before that, I completely messed up. I'm not going to mess it up now. Slow, steady approach with a good tactic, well thought through, and we can do this together. That's kind of all I wanted to say for today. If you like the content, like the content. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so. Turn on the bell notification, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be there with a live stream. Maybe I will have some interesting guests.